Welcome back to the Brick Breakdown. I am Matt Brick, your host. Today is June 28th, 2023. Today we are going to talk about some sleeper picks in fantasy football and have another top 10 list. But first, let's get right into the news. Browns and the Panthers are, quote, lurking to potentially sign DeAndre Hopkins. So now we already knew that the Titans and the Patriots were already interested in DeAndre Hopkins. Now we have the Cleveland Browns and the Carolina Panthers also interested. So keep an eye on that. The Dolphins have officially offered Dalvin Cook a deal. I've also read the report that Dalvin Cook has many deals on the table for him as of right now. It's just one's waiting to be signed. There was kind of an unofficial report about the Jets may be on Hard Knocks. I don't know when that'll be announced exactly, but looks like the Jets will be as of right now. So there you go. Speaking of the Jets, the former first-round pick linebacker Darren Lee has a warrant out for his arrest, and he's being accused of beating his own mother and the mother of his son, which is not good. Unfortunate news. Former quarterback Ryan Mallett passed away yesterday from drowning in Florida. Rest in peace, Ryan Mallett. And last but not least, Josh Jacobs could hold out week one, according to Tom Pelissero, I believe it was, due to the old contract situation with Jacobs there. All right, today we're going to talk about some fantasy sleepers. These are some guys in fantasy football that I think are currently undervalued. Well, they're undervalued, yeah. They're not being drafted. They're being drafted at a lower position, ADP wise, and I think they will outperform that ADP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so the first guy I have is who? Ooh, this guy. All right. Samaje Perine on the Denver Broncos. His current ADP is what? 11.02? Is that right? Looks like it. Hold on. Oh, that's just the pick. But I guess it is. Huh. That's wild. I mean, Perine is currently the backup running back behind Javonte Williams. I think that with Williams and his injury, he tore his ACL last year, and I feel like his injury is still kind of up in the air as of right now. So Perine might be able to scavenge some reps and some touchdowns. And if you look back on Sean Payton and his Saints career as the head coach, he had Mark Ingram, and he was heavily involved in that offense. So Samaje Perine, 11.02 as his ADP. Wow. That's kind of a steal in my opinion. All right, who is up next? Ooh, okay. Gotta just find him on here. Rashad Penny, running back for my Philadelphia Eagles. His ADP is 8.01. Yeah, I mean, I understand his injury concerns. He's always gotten hurt, but there is a fantasy aspect to it. He has averaged, I think, like almost 6 yards a carry, which is kind of crazy. So now that he kind of just went from one of the worst offensive lines in Seattle to one of the best, debatably the best offensive line in the NFL. So I understand that the Eagles have DeAndre Swift. They have Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott. But one of these guys is going to have most of the carries. And I don't know if it's going to be Rashad Penny. I don't know if it's going to be DeAndre Swift. My guess is it would probably be Swift, if everyone's healthy. But don't sleep on Rashad Penny. I think you never know. This might be a situation where maybe Penny has a game and then Swift has a game. So I guess we'll see. But at 8.01, I think Penny's a good deal for fantasy football. All right, next up. I think this one is pretty under the radar right now. If I can find it. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Elijah Mitchell, ADP 8.12. Running back for the San Francisco 49ers. Christian McCaffrey gets hurt every year now. I guess that's just included in his contract. Unfortunately. Listen, McCaffrey's gotten hurt, I want to say, the past 2 years. He has not played every single game, which is a shame. Nothing that we want to see in fantasy football, in football at all. But trends happen. We all know that Dalvin Cook has gotten hurt almost every year, right? Players get hurt, and when it becomes a trend, we need to look ahead and say, okay, Elijah Mitchell might give us 5 or 6 games as a running back in the NFL because McCaffrey's most likely going to get hurt. His current ADP is 8.12. I think that's a great buy-in point. He'll probably even when McCaffrey is playing, you can see Mitchell going in for a play or two, right? So I see that as a good price for Elijah Mitchell. All right, next up. We're not looking at Rondell Moore. We're looking at Elijah Moore. ADP 9.10. Wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns. I think that as of right now, barring any DeAndre Hopkins news, Elijah Moore is kind of a sleeper. With him and Amari Cooper as the wide receivers there and Deshaun Watson throwing the ball, I'm a big fan of Elijah Moore. I know that I understand why he's going at 9.10, but it's because he's only had Zach Wilson and Mike White throwing him the ball. I think with Deshaun Watson throwing in the ball, he'll be able to show us a lot more of his talent. I remember last year when he started talking about how I wanted the ball. Sorry about that. He started talking about how he was having concerns of his role in the Jets offense and that he wanted to get fed the ball, but he wasn't getting the ball that much for some reason. I understand Garrett Wilson's a beast, but on that Jets team with Zach Wilson and Mike White and nobody, you got to throw the ball to Elijah Moore, and they weren't, so they got rid of him, and now he's on the Browns. So yeah, I think that 9.10 for Elijah Moore, sign me up. I'm all in. All right, who is next? George Pickens is next, and he's right here. George Pickens, 9.01. I feel like people are just really I don't know. To me, it seems the trend I'm seeing is that not everyone's in on Kenny Pickett. I'm a big fan of Kenny Pickett. And I think that George Pickens is a beast. How many catches did he catch last year where it was just like, whoa. And he's going at 9.01. Yeah, I'm all in. George Pickens. I listen, if you're not in on Pickett, then disregard everything I'm saying. I don't care. But I just think that Pickett's going to do better. He can only go up from where he went last year. It was his rookie year. What are you going to do? And for him to have George Pickens, I think he's going to have a better year than last year. All right. Next up. Ooh, this one's kind of sneaky. Here we go. Michael Gallup. wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. His ADP is 12.07. People are really hounding in on Brandon Cooks, and which I really don't understand. I really don't get it. I think Brandon Cooks is how many teams has Brandon Cooks been on at this point? 6, 7. There's a reason why he isn't unbelievable in my opinion. I think he's just good enough to get you by. Like that's Brandon Cooks. Michael Gallup, I think, is far more talented, and I think in my opinion, he should be the wide receiver 2 there, not Brandon Cooks. I understand that Cooks can probably be more of a threat in the deep ball, but I think Michael Gallup at 12.07 can get more targets. All right. Who is next? Right down here. Jaylen Warren, running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers at 12.12 at his ADP. Yeah, I mean, if Najee Harris gets hurt, Jaylen Warren's going right in and balling. He's a beast, whether you like it or not. Obviously, again, we don't want football players to get hurt. It's the worst. It's just not what you want. It's horrible. But if Najee Harris were to get hurt, something happens, Jaylen Warren at his current ADP, 12.12, is a great price to pay for a running back that can score you a lot of fantasy points. So don't shy away from Jaylen Warren. And for a backup, this is a bench spot at 12.12. So that's a good bench spot. Good sleeper. All right. Let's see. Next up. No, that's not what I want. Nope. Here he is. Jamal Williams, running back for the current New Orleans Saints, ADP 8.05. As of right now, Alvin Kamara is not suspended. It is June 28th. I don't remember when I think he has a court date soon. I could be wrong about that. It might be at the end of July. So sooner or later, Alvin Kamara is probably going to get suspended. People are saying 6 games. Let's say he gets suspended for 6 games. That means Jamal Williams will be the starting running back for the Saints for 6 games. If you watched Jamal Williams last year, you saw how much of a beast he is. And I think it's obvious that with him and the Saints, I think he can do well. I think he can catch the ball. He was a touchdown machine last year. Don't sleep on Jamal Williams. 8.05. I don't think that's a bad price. This one's wild, in my opinion. I think this one's a little crazy. Let's see if I can find him. But no, I spelled it wrong. Okay. Jackson Smith and Jigba, current rookie wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, going at 13.05. Listen, I understand the hesitancy, I guess. You have DK Metcalf, you have Tyler Lockett in Seattle, but now you have a third option in Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think Geno Smith is going to throw him the ball a good amount. I don't know if he'll. I could see him be. I could totally see Jackson Smith and Jigba beating Tyler Lockett in fantasy points this year, because I just think there's production in Seattle, and I think that Lockett is kind of getting older, and I think with Smith and Jigba there, he's very talented. He can score you a lot of fantasy points, so he has a high ceiling and a low risk. At 13.05, that's wild. So don't sleep on Jackson Smith and Jigba. Okay, next up. Rashad Bateman, wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens at 8.03 ADP. I think Bateman's going to be I just have a feeling Bateman's going to be the best wide receiver fantasy wise in Baltimore. I understand that Odell's there now. He hasn't played in a while. I understand that Zay Flowers, the rookie, is there now. Not really afraid of him. I understand Mark Andrews is there. Can totally understand that. I mean, obviously, I think Andrews will be the best fantasy asset on the team other than Lamar Jackson. But wide receiver wise, I think Rashad Bateman has the best chance of being the best wide receiver fantasy wise on this team. And at 8.03, I'm all in. I mean, I don't know if I draft Bateman. If I had the opportunity, maybe I will. But I like his value there at 8.03. Okay. Ooh, next up. Let's find him. Adam Thielen, wide receiver for now the Carolina Panthers, ADP 11.01. I don't even know if I can name another Carolina wide receiver right now. I don't know. I know DJ Moore's not there. Let's see if I can find one. Nope. Adam Thielen. Oh boy. All right, hold on. No, I'm just gonna look up the depth chart real quick because I want to know if there's anyone else that I can think of. Terrace Marshall Jr. Not worth anything. Let's see. Oh, DJ Shark. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's. Let's see what DJ Shark's DP is real quick. Is he even on here? He's not even on here. Okay, so that shows you a lot. So Adam Thielen. I think Adam Thielen. I understand his age, but remember, this was not long ago when Adam Thielen was. He was breaking stupid records with the amount of yards he was getting, and I want to say it was like 100 yards a game or something. He had like a consecutive streak or something. It was something unheard of. It was ridiculous. And then I think the year after that, it may have been the year that Stephon Diggs left, and then here comes Justin Jefferson. But I understand that Adam Thielen is no longer on the Vikings. He's now with the Carolina Panthers, and more importantly, with rookie quarterback Bryce Young. So, you have to. The way to think about Adam Thielen is the way you have to think about Bryce Young. Are you willing to bet on Bryce Young this year? I understand he's a rookie quarterback. Rookie quarterbacks tend to not be amazing. So, are you willing to? I mean, 11.01 is Adam Thielen's ADP. Is that high stock? No. So, I guess it is a little bit of a lower risk and a little bit of a high reward because if Bryce Young is supposed to be this next prodigy, then maybe he'll be throwing the ball to Adam Thielen a lot because DJ Shark, sure, he'll be getting some balls, but Terrace Marshall Jr., probably not. And yeah, they'll be running the ball with Miles Sanders. So, low risk, high reward. Adam Thielen. There you go. Who is next? Oh, God. I don't even want to talk about this guy, but I have to. Here he is, Hunter Renfrow, 11.08 ADP, wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders. This is a great ADP. This is a great price for Hunter Renfrow. I will say that. I will die on that hill. That's a great price for Hunter Renfrow. And it probably won't grow because people hate him right now. Why do people hate him? He did horribly last year. Horribly. He wasn't getting thrown the ball from Derek Carr. And people were really hype on Hunter Renfrow breaking out and just having a season. And he did not. He did not. He underperformed. And I sigh and I say that because I was one of those people who bet on Hunter Renfrow and drafted him way too high last season. But to get him at 11.08 could be one of the steals of the season because, God forbid, what we thought was going to happen last year happens this year. Or it's just the same as last year. Nothing happens. Garoppolo doesn't throw in the ball. But I think in this offense with the Raiders, I think he's going to have to. I understand they have Devontae Adams. They lost Darren Waller. Who did they get? Did they draft a tight end? I don't know. I don't remember who's there at tight end anymore. But Hunter Renfrow, I think, will have a better. He had such a bad season. I think he will have a better season than last year. I mean, if anything, it's a trap to draft him, but low risk, high reward. That's the whole point. All right, let's go to the next guy. I hope I spelled this right. I did. All right. Quentin Johnston, rookie wide receiver for the Los Angeles Chargers, ADP 12.11. Crazy, amazing ADP. This is very similar to Jackson Smith and Jigba's current situation. Two other great wide receivers that are old. I mean, well, okay, I guess it's not as close to Jackson Smith and Jigba because DK Metcalf isn't that old. But you have Keenan Allen, who's old, Mike Williams, who's old, and now you have a fresh rookie wide receiver out of TCU, Quentin Johnston. And his ADP is only 12.11. I get it, but if I just have I would not be surprised if Quentin Johnston does better than Mike Williams this year because maybe he gets thrown the ball a little bit more. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, both very injury prone, have gotten hurt. So if Quentin Johnston steps up and you draft him almost in the 12th or 13th round, I wouldn't be sad. That'd be a great value for him. That's a great low risk, high reward. All right, two more, and we're done. Alan Lazard, wide receiver for the New York Jets, current ADP at 10.07. I just think that at that price, I'm in on it because I feel like maybe the first 4 games, Alan Lazard might be Aaron Rodgers' guy simply because of the chemistry. I understand that he brought Randall Cobb and probably other guys that I'm not remembering, and he has Garrett Wilson there too, Tyler Conklin, Breece Hall, the running back, he could probably throw to as well. But I feel like new team, new digs, and I think he's just going to be at first, throwing the ball to Alan Lazard a little bit more, just simply because he knows who he is and he's thrown them the ball plenty of times. So I'm in on Alan Lazard at 10.07 for sure. All right, last but not least, my guy. Where is he? Tua Tagovailoa, 9.08 quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. Everyone and their mother is scared of Tua Tagovailoa. They're terrified. They don't want to see him. No, I'm not drafting him. He's going to get hurt again. What if he doesn't? What if he's healthy the whole season? What if he plays every single game? I mean, I could he get hurt? Obviously, everyone can get hurt. I'm optimistic. I think he doesn't get hurt. I think he balls out. He shows this league, hey, I'm here to play. I'm here to stay. This is what I am. This is who I will be. Tua Tagovailoa, 9.08, could be. And I understand the risk. But I'm a believer in Tua. I think last year when he played, he played very well. And I don't see why he wouldn't play just as good. All right. That's it for the fantasy sleepers. It is now time for the top 10 list. Today we're doing the top 10 NFC quarterbacks. I typed that wrong. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Coming in at number 10, I have Justin Fields, quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Justin Fields hasn't played enough for me to be a top 5 guy. He hasn't played enough. He's shown some flashes for sure. He can run the ball. He hasn't shown me enough to throw the ball yet. Hasn't shown it. I think that with his running ability, he can be great. He needs to work on his accuracy throwing the ball. Plain and simple. That's why I have him at number 10. Let's move on. Number 9, Daniel Jones, quarterback for the New York Giants. I don't like Daniel Jones. I'll be honest with you. I know I'm an Eagles fan, but I don't like him. I don't think he's good. He went to Duke. Yeah, Duke. Oh, what? He went to Duke? Yes, Duke. Duke is known for basketball in college, not football. Hence, Daniel Jones. I won't deny that he can run. He's done it well. But I just don't think that he's that good of a quarterback. I think what they just gave him as his current contract is absolutely insane. I think I would say at most this year and then next year, Daniel Jones is going to be on a different team because he's not that talented. He's not that good, in my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. Number 8, Kyler Murray, quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, Mr. Call of Duty himself. Kyler Murray can make some plays. I understand he had a horrible season last year. I understand that he had also Cliff Kingsbury as his coach last year. Now he has horrible Jonathan Gannon as coach this year. I don't think that takes it. It obviously does take away some things, but talent-wise, Kyler Murray, number 8. I mean, he can obviously run the ball. He does well throwing the ball as well. I mean, the Hail Murray with the pass DeAndre Hopkins, you can't just whip that up so easily. That's just a gift. So Kyler Murray at number 8. Number 7, Jared Goff, quarterback for the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff's been doing better since he's left the Rams. I think that's been shown. I think that's been obvious. Unfortunately, he's just hasn't had an unbelievable season yet. I mean, this could be it this year. Would not be shocked if Jared Goff balls out. But right now, he's number 7. Number 6, Derek Carr, quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Carr has shown a lot when he was on the Raiders. Carr was doing his thing. I mean, that one year, I don't know if that was the Deflategate year or not. It may have been the year when they were in the playoffs and they were hot. I was totally rooting for the Raiders because I thought Derek Carr was just simply on fire. So I think with the Saints, he will excel. I think he'll do better. I'm excited to see him as a Saint. We'll see. But yeah, Derek Carr, number 6. Number 5, Geno Smith. Geno Smith balled out last year, and I think he will do it again, especially now that he has Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, Geno Smith has. I know he rode the bench for years, but now he showed the whole league how good of a football player he is, how good of a quarterback he is. He did very well last year, so do not sleep on Geno Smith. Number 4, Dak Prescott. Yeah, obviously Dak is a good quarterback. I'm not going to deny that. I don't think he had a great year last year. I just don't. Plenty of a good amount of interceptions. I just think that I don't know. I feel like he hasn't been progressing. He's just been staying the same or regressing. Is that the right word? I hope so. He's not doing as good as he was when he first started in this league. I don't think he'll do any better next year. I think this year he's going to have an off year. That's just how I feel about it. I mean, I think last year he just did average, but I think this year he's going to drop down more. He loses Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator. I don't know who's there now. I think it's what the heck's his name? Mortenheimer, something like that. I want to say it's something silly. Yeah, so that's why Dak's at 4. He has not done anything that amazing. I mean, when he gets into the playoffs, kind of just crashes and burns. So there you go. Dak Prescott at 4. Number 3, Kirk Cousins. Obviously, Kirk Cousins is at 3 here, simply because he'll get you to the playoffs. Like, you know, he's gotten. I don't know. I would actually have to look that up. I don't know how many times he's gotten to the playoffs. He's probably gotten there a good amount. That's the thing, though. He doesn't get far into the playoffs, but he's a very accurate quarterback. That's why I have him at 3. Yeah, simple as that. Number 2, I have Matthew Stafford, simply because of his career with the Lions. I mean, I feel like I don't think people are taking enough credit of how well he was with Calvin Johnson. He was really good. I understand he's getting older, and I know he got hurt last year, but I think Matthew Stafford is a really good quarterback still. I give him another year or 2. And number 1, Jalen Hurts, my quarterback. I'm biased. I don't care. But still, I don't think you can give me the case for 2 at Jalen Hurts for sure. I think you're lying to yourself. I think you're lying to yourself saying that he's not number 1 because of what he just did last year. Jalen Hurts balled out and had the best Super Bowl quarterback performance of all time. Yeah, he lost. We took an L. That's what happened. You can't deny the man's talent after last year. And you're going to tell me Dak's better? You're going to tell me Kirk Cousins is better? Stafford? You're going to tell me Brock Purdy should be on this list? Who's played like 9 games? Okay. You're wrong. I just disagree. Don't think Brock Purdy should have been on this list simply because he's played 9 games. And this is not enough. Not enough. All right. That's it for this episode today. We'll end it with the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is, "Our knowledge is a little island in a great ocean of non-knowledge," by Isaac Bashevis Singer. That's going to end it here for today. Please like, subscribe, follow, comment, leave a review, Follow the podcast on Twitter at Bryk Breakdown, at BRYK Breakdown. Follow me on Twitter at Bryk Matt, at BRYK Matt. Follow us like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're on there. Thank you for watching and have a great day.